Hey guys, Mike Builds. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a video on a mini split installation. If you guys know, I've been off grid for a little while now, and being off grid and having a mini split, they go perfectly together because of how energy efficient these are. I've been able to heat and cool my entire house using multiple of these units. Today we're going to be upgrading one of my older units to a newer unit with a little bit more features, a little bit more cooling power, and it's also a little bit more efficient. So we're going to get this thing unboxed. I'm going to lay everything out, kind of go over the unit with you guys, and then I'm actually going to show you guys the full installation step by step. So if you've never installed a mini split, if you watch this video, you're gonna know how to at the end of it. I'm gonna show you all vacuuming it down, wiring it, and then the final setup and showing you guys the unit actually working. And I'm also gonna show you guys how much power this specific unit uses. That way you guys at home, if you're building a solar power system and you're interested in powering a mini split to heat and cool your home or your camper or whatever, you're gonna get a good idea of what it actually takes to run one of these.
Some real quick specs on this unit. This is the COZEWARE Visio Series 12,000 BTU 20-SEER mini split air conditioning system. It's rated for 115 volts. It's fully inverter based, so you get all the benefits of the inverter technology. It has full Wi-Fi control with an app.
Here's a good look at the outside unit. This is gonna be your condenser compressor assembly that's already pre-charged with gas, and this uses R32 refrigerant. On the side right here, this is where we're gonna make all our electrical connections. Right here, this is where we're gonna do all our gas connections to connect the inside and outside unit. And if you look in there, there's the actual connections, too easy, right? On the back here, we have this little coil guard. If you notice, the coil also has a golden color to it. That's an anti-corrosion plating that they put on the coil. That's supposed to make the coil last a lot longer and keep it a little bit cleaner. Here's the other side, kind of a nice side profile of the unit. And overall, for a 12,000 BTU sized air conditioner, this thing's pretty compact. It doesn't weigh a ton, so it's very easy to move around and get positioned, even if you're doing this by yourself. Next, we have the inside air handling unit. You have a little bit of a display right here that's gonna display our temperature once we get this thing powered up. You can actually open it right here. You see you have these screens. You're gonna keep these clean, and it's gonna keep dust and stuff out of the unit. If we pull one of the screens out, if you look, the inside coil also has a coating, and that's gonna help protect the unit from corrosion and keep the coil clean. This panel right here, we're actually gonna end up taking this off when we go to install it. This is where we're gonna wire the unit up from the inside unit to the outside unit using the included cord. Here's what the bottom of the unit looks like. This is gonna be your louver vent that moves around. And then here's the back of the unit with your wall bracket already installed. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this off. There's a screw right here we have to remove. And right here is where we're gonna make our refrigerant connection. So we have our big and small hose, and then we also have our drain hose right here. Now, as far as accessories you get with it, you get your main power cable, which I've never seen one of these come with. This is gonna be the cable that is gonna connect the inside and outside unit. You have all the hardware you're gonna need to do the install, the manuals, nice remote. And then as well as all your line set. These are actually individual from each other. Normally these are straight up connected, but these are separate. This is a nice handy jig that's gonna help you hang your indoor wall mount unit. And then you get 2 condensation hoses. Here's the unit that we're gonna be removing to replace it with our new COZEWARE unit. This is an older OLMO 9000 BTU air conditioner. Now this thing's been up here for about 3 years now, and it's been trouble-free. And actually, I did the entire install on the channel of this unit, and it was one of my first mini splits. So I went with the cheapest one I could get, and honestly, it works great, but it doesn't have Wi-Fi or any other really advanced features. This COZEWARE unit's gonna be a massive upgrade, and also, the COZEWARE unit's a little bit more efficient, and it's also bigger. This is a 9,000 BTU unit. We're gonna be replacing it with a 12,000 BTU unit. And then when we go to install the head unit, I think I'm actually gonna move it over a little bit as well to help centrally locate it more in the house to get a little bit better performance. So we're gonna start ripping this thing out. While we're doing that, I'm just gonna set you guys up on the tripod and we're gonna speed through it. Now, at the time of making this video, this unit, as you see here on the table, costs $549, making it a really good value, especially because all the features you get, app control, and all that good stuff. There's not very many mini splits you can get below $500, $550 range. So I am happy to see that there are budget options on the market, and we're gonna find out exactly how good this thing is in this video. There's where the pass-through comes out for the old unit. I just gotta clean this little hole of all the expanding foam. And I've already disconnected and removed the old unit. I did leave the power cable, so we're gonna have that still. It'll be really easy to connect. There's the old OLMO outside unit, and since there's nothing wrong with this unit, I'm actually going to be giving it to a buddy of mine to repurpose, and I'm gonna record that install as well. So tons of mini split content. We got the wall mount done. Now I know this wooden contraption looks really crazy to some of you guys, but just hear me out. I prefer to space the head unit a little bit away from the wall. It's easier to hang it, it's easier to connect the line set, and personally, I don't really mind how it looks. I am gonna go through after this video is done, and I'm actually gonna clean all the wood up and paint it, make it look a lot better. But this is really for demonstration purposes only, so don't worry about the looks too much. I know it looks very janky. And then all I gotta do is, if I ever wanna uninstall it, all I do is pull all the screws out, fill a few holes, and it's like it never happened. Also, I want to centrally locate the mini split in the house more anyways, and because where this window's at, I can't put the mini split right here. There's just not enough room, so I have to kind of run this style bracket in order to drop the mini split down. It does cover a little bit of the top of the window, but that's not a big deal. My other setup is just like that, and it's never been an issue. But yeah, I just wanted to clear that up because I know I'm gonna get a lot of comments how crazy this looks. But this is what you gotta do if you wanna install it over a window. Next, we're gonna prep the indoor unit to be hung on the wall, and the way you do that is we have to install the communication cable between the inside and outside units. Very easy to do. We're also gonna pre-connect the line set and pre-connect a drain line. I wanna have everything connected. That way when we go on the wall, we feed everything through the wall, get everything torqued correctly, and that's it. We can actually finally install this thing. And then once this thing is hung on the wall, I'm gonna show you guys an insider trade secret to mounting the head unit that no one ever shows in their videos. It's this one simple trick that no one wants you to know.
Correct.
Before we put the head unit up, we're gonna go ahead and level the head unit's bracket. So what I was telling you guys about a little tip that I use when I install my mini splits is I always angle the inside unit toward where you're gonna have your drain tube. The drain is gonna be on this side of our head unit. So I'm actually gonna have this side of the head unit a little bit lower, and that's gonna help the condensation drain out of the tray a lot better, and it's gonna keep water or anything like that from building up in the unit. It's gonna keep the unit cleaner, and overall it's just a really good thing to do. So I always just slightly lower this using a level. The bubble's more on that side. As you guys can see, this thing's upside down.
Is it?
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh yeah, you're right.
Make sure the bracket's where I want it, and I'm gonna go ahead and install all the screws in this thing, and it's gonna be good to go. All right, so that hissing sound, when they build these at the factory, they fill this with nitrogen. So if you hear that, that means the evaporator has held pressure the entire way from the factory to your house or wherever you're installing it. So that's a good sign. And then before we attach the hoses, I always put a little bit of this stuff, and this is gonna help just create a little bit better seal. You don't have to run it if you torque them correctly and the flares are good, but I always just throw a little bit on there for peace of mind. Good, right?
That actually looks really good. One more zip tie to close off, at least up to here.
All the hoses are on this thing. It's ready to shove into the wall hole. We just kind of extended the lines with our wire, and we're just gonna snake them through the hole, and then we'll kind of get them bent how we need to get them bent once they're through the wall. All this got nicely secured. You really wanna tape this up really good, because if there's any air pockets in here, or if the foam isn't insulating really good, you could get condensation. So keep that in mind, because the pipes will sweat a little bit when it's cooling. But that's it, this thing's ready to go. Here's all the tools we're gonna need to finish the install. So we kind of just blew through the basic install, putting the head unit on the wall, putting the outside unit outside. Nothing to it, super easy. But this is the part that requires a little bit of technical skill, but it's still very easy to do, and all these tools you can get very cheap. I will leave links in the description for everything you see here if you're interested in getting all this stuff for yourself. If not, you can pay an HVAC guy to do it, but then you gotta pay someone to do work. Anyways, we have the vacuum pump, we have a manifold gauge set with the adapters, because the mini split has a special adapter you need to use for a manifold set. And we're gonna use the manifolds in conjunction with the vacuum pump in order to pull a vacuum on the evaporator side of the unit, because we're gonna have air in the lines. We need to pull all the air and moisture out of the lines before we release the gas. We have a pressure regulator right here. We're gonna use this with a bottle of argon to pressure test the system before we pull the vacuum. That way we know if we have any leaks or anything like that. So basically we're gonna connect the hoses, pressurize it, check for leaks, release all that gas, vacuum it for about 20 minutes, and then if all that goes good, this thing will be 100% ready to go. Then all we gotta do is a little bit of wiring, which I will show, and we can actually turn this thing on. You don't need a ton of equipment. You can get this stuff somewhat cheap on Amazon. You don't gotta go buy the most expensive stuff. I do welding for fun, so I already have argon. You can use nitrogen as well, but argon will work just fine. It's an inert gas, won't hurt nothing. So we're gonna go ahead and pull off our line set covers. So right here is gonna be the port where we're gonna connect our manifold gauge set in order to vacuum down the evaporator setup, as well as the lines. These are where we're gonna connect our lines. And then these caps under here are where the valve's at to release the gas that's already pre-charged in the condenser to the rest of the system. Just like in the indoor unit, we're gonna put some of this 9-lock blue to help create a little bit better seal for our fittings. I'll go ahead and bend our line set, kind of get a good, very gradual little curve going on. All right, there we go. So we can go ahead and snug these guys up. Bolts right here. That way you can torque these fittings, but I always like to hold them as well because you don't want to break these off the unit, and these are gonna have to be pretty snugged up. There are torque specs, and you're supposed to use a torque wrench. I would recommend doing that so you know what they are, but I just go by feel. So we have our manifold line set. We're gonna use the blue hose. We're gonna use this little adapter that adapts to the mini split, and it also has a Schrader valve depressor in there because there is a Schrader valve right here that needs to be depressed. So we're gonna go ahead and connect our blue hose with the adapter to the machine. Now we're gonna take our yellow hose and connect it to our pressurized gas bottle, nitrogen or argon. Snug them up. That's snug. Now we're gonna turn the gas on, and then now we're gonna open the gauge. So this is gonna add the argon into the line set and the evaporator in the house. And I'm gonna put about 200 to 300 PSI in this. All right, there we go. We have 300 PSI of pressure, and then we have 300 PSI of pressure here. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this. And when I close this, it's gonna isolate this gauge with this hose to the rest of the system. And all we have to do now is we can turn this off. And if there's any sort of leak in our connections inside or outside, this gauge right here will drop. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this gauge sit for about 20 minutes. We're gonna pay attention to the pressure, make sure this doesn't drop at all. While we're waiting for our leak test to finish up, we're gonna go ahead and install some of the wiring. So you gotta pull this little service cover off right here. I already have my power wire right here. I know it looks kind of nasty. I have to put some terminals on it, so I'm gonna do that. So first we're gonna do the inside unit connection to the outside. We're gonna take this little cable holder off. Now, whenever we installed the head unit, I did take a picture of the layout of the terminals. So I suggest you guys do the same thing. That way you know exactly how you hooked this up. And then don't forget to shove it through the gland. Next, we're gonna connect the power. I did go ahead and put some terminals on the power cables. We have a live, a neutral, and a ground. Pretty simple because this is only a 120 volt unit. So our live is gonna go on the L, neutral is gonna go where the N, and your ground's gonna go right next to that. That's it, it's that easy. I'm gonna kinda put our strain relief back on. And that's it, we can throw our cover back on. We're all done there. Nice. All right, update on the pressure check. It hasn't moved at all. In order to check to see how good our seal is working to make sure we have 0 leaks, we're gonna use this leak indicator specifically made for this. And I'll take a little bit of a paper towel, that way it doesn't make a mess. And that's it, we just kind of spray. And this is kind of like a thick solution, so if there are any sort of leaks, it'll show up as tiny bubbles. And that's it, we're just gonna let that sit there, but so far we have nothing. We're gonna let this sit for a few minutes, make sure we have no leaks, then we're gonna clean it off. All right, we've waited about 20 minutes, 0 leaks have been found. Our pressure gauge has not moved at all, so I think we're good to go. Get the argon bottle, all that stuff disconnected, and get the vacuum pump connected next. Now we have our vacuum pump here with our yellow hose. We're gonna get this thing connected up. We're ready to pull a vacuum on the system, everything is connected. So we're gonna open this one, we're gonna make sure this one is shut, and we're gonna kick the vacuum pump on. We're gonna give it about 15 to 20 minutes to pull a full vacuum on the system. As you guys can see, we're running the vacuum pump with this power station, no problem. It's only pulling about 390 watts. We've let this vacuum down for about 20 minutes now, so now I'm gonna go ahead and close this gauge right here. I'm gonna shut the vacuum pump off, take the service caps off the valves so we can release the refrigerant. Now with this thing still being under vacuum, what I normally do is I'll open this valve until this starts to move. That way when I take this off, it doesn't suck in any air. You want a little bit of pressure. So there we go, we have a little bit of pressure, so now I'm gonna get this off. And that's it. Now we release the refrigerant, and it's gonna flow into the rest of the system. Same with the bottom one. Put your caps back on, and then also put your service cap back on. Now I'm gonna go ahead and throw the cover on. Now keep in mind, this may look unfinished. There's still a lot of finishing work I need to do, but just for the video, I really wanted to show all the major steps. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the cover on just for now. I am gonna take this back off camera and finish all this. We're gonna go inside and see if this thing works. We're gonna go ahead and connect the AC to my off-grid solar power system. Now we should be ready to turn this thing on. And we're on cool, 75 degrees. And there we go, she's starting up, boys.
It's set to 73, the temperature in the house is 7. Oh, never mind.
Oh yeah, she's spooling up. This thing's insanely quiet, by the way. If you've never had one of these inverter mini splits, they're the quietest thing in the world for ACs. Now that we have our COZEWARE mini split AC system fully wired up, fully functional, ready to go, we're gonna do a little bit of performance testing. So I would like to do is put a kilowatt hour meter on the input of this unit We're gonna see exactly how much power the unit uses. And as the unit gets cold, we're gonna check it with a thermal camera and we're gonna see exactly how cold the air is coming out. So this yellow 12 gauge extension cord is what I have wired to the mini split going to this kilowatt hour meter. And we have power coming from my 48 volt off-grid solar power system into this extension cord. So we're gonna go ahead and plug them in. AC unit just beeped, as you guys heard. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that thing cooling and we're gonna see exactly how much power it's using. Now we're gonna take our remote, put it on cool, and I'll put it to 75. And I did go ahead and set the fan speed to auto. And also, I do want to point out the remote is very nice, and it's a little bit different from some of the other mini splits that I've used as far as the button layout, but it does seem to have a lot of different features. It also has a turbo button and a quiet button. I like to see both of those because you can turn the fan speed way up or turn it way down and make this thing really quiet. Actually, I'm going to adjust the temperature a little bit lower because right now my house is already at 74. So we're going to put this thing at 70. So far, we're using about 500 watts. Outside unit's running, it's extremely quiet. I love that. Right now it sounds like the compressor is pretty much fully ramped up. So I'm gonna take the microphone and put it really close to the unit so you guys at home can hear really what this thing sounds like and actually how quiet it is. So it's crazy how quiet this thing is. I like that. And it looks like we're about 733 watts. And the air coming out of the unit is already down to 67 degrees. So we're gonna give that a second to get a little bit colder. But feeling the air, it is very cold coming out of that. So I'm just gonna let it continue to run. I'm gonna give it about 20 minutes to fully stabilize and cool the house down. Right now we're sitting about 74 degrees. All right, this thing's been running for a little over 20 minutes now. It's very cold. The house is already down 2 degrees from what it was 20 minutes ago. And as you guys can see, the air coming out of this thing is insanely cold, 43 degrees. And I can just feel it on my face. If I stand here right in front, it makes my face hurt. It's so cold. Now I did end up turning the fan speed down a little bit, but as you guys can see, we're producing 43 degree air and only using 465 watts. Outside unit's still pumping away just fine. And we're down to about 72 degrees in the house. Now, as far as how big of an area that unit is cooling, I'm kind of pan around my house a little bit and you can see that this is my main living room / work area and kitchen. So this is a big chunk of my square footage in this house, and we're easily able to make this space very comfortable with just that one mini split running. And having it centrally located right here, I think is an awesome spot for it. The real test is gonna be in the summertime. We're gonna see how good this thing does, but we're gonna have to wait till it gets a little bit hotter out. Currently right now, it's about 85 degrees outside. So this thing's keeping up no problem. But that's definitely my favorite part about mini split AC units. That's why I tell everyone, if you're on solar or doing anything with solar, definitely look into getting one or installing one because they're just so efficient. You're able to make such cold air without really using a ton of power. Now I will say this, more than likely when it's super, super hot outside and you need a ton of cooling power out of the unit, if you do it on max cool and the temperature outside's 90, 100 degrees during the summer, the most you should ever see out of one of these units is about 1,000 watts. Well guys, that's gonna wrap up the video on our COZEWARE mini split install. Overall, the install went very smoothly. Now personally, I've installed 6 of these air conditioners already. So for me, it was pretty easy, but for you guys at home, if it's your first one, the instructions are very thorough, and there's also a lot of YouTube videos on how to do it, as well as if you follow this video, I don't think you'll have any issues at all. And one thing I will say is if you're able to install this unit yourself, kind of like I did in this video, or if you follow the steps I did in this video and you get all the same equipment that I used, you will save yourself literally thousands of dollars by doing this yourself. I would highly recommend, even if you're a little bit technical, watch a couple more videos, watch this video, and I promise you guys, y'all can definitely install this yourself. Save yourself a lot of money, do the DIY install, and you'll have an amazing air conditioner. That should give you tons of good performance, and I think it'll really surprise you guys how good these are. The unit itself is working amazing. It's very energy efficient. The air is very cold. It's very quiet. And I'm gonna continue to update you guys as I run this thing in a little bit and just see how good it actually performs over time. Now, because this also has Wi-Fi, I was able to download the COZEWARE app. It was extremely easy to connect to this unit. Actually, one of the easiest ones I've done out of all the installs I've done so far. You do have to create an account, but all of these apps so far I've used have to create an account, so there is that. So create the account, connect it to the unit. Now you have full remote control over the AC unit when you're away from the house, or if you just don't want to get off the couch to make it colder if the remote's not near you. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to leave a link in the description if you want to go check this thing out for yourself. Please leave any questions, comments, concerns, all of that in the comment section below, and I will be in there answering all y'all's comments and responding to as many as I can. Thank y'all so much. If you're still watching to the end of this video, I truly appreciate it. It means the world to me that you guys are watching my videos. Hopefully you got something out of this. Hopefully you guys learned something from this and we can all continue to grow together. And that's it. I'll see y'all in the next video.